Right, everybody. Yes, it works. And it's nice and bendy. It's a shame I can't actually use this to put the whole fabric cover together. I might have an idea of how to do it, because it's not, to hold this shape it wouldn't work. So what you could do, I guess, is tack it with a bit of super glue to keep the shape, and then use the rest of this glue to hold it. But I don't know. It seems all right. I think it's all right with super glue, actually. It should be fine. But for these bits, you can't. So I've got some of my spare umbrella fabric, and then I've cut, I think they're 2mm strips. I worked out about 2mm. Yeah, 2mm. All right. And then we're going to stick them across there. There's 6 of them. One of them is just about dead center of the turret, and it looks a little bit off center of the gun, but I think that's because the gun on this is actually slightly off center on the turret, I think. I might be wrong. So it goes there. So I'm going to put one here, one there, and I'm going to eyeball the middle too. All right. And this is the fabric glue. So that's this stuff. So it seems to work. And yeah, so let me put that on. If you've noticed as well, I've made this quite taut, because when you put these reinforced strips on, you don't want any creasing of the fabric when you put them on, because you'll then lock the creases in. All right, we don't want to do that. So let me do that, and then after I've done this and this is dried, so probably tomorrow I'll do that bit, which is pointless because it'll be on one video. That's when I'll start putting the strips on around here, because you couldn't do that until you've put these on. Oh, I've cut them long as well, because then I can trim them. Okay, so you can see that like that. And that's not the best because it's a bit far away from the camera, but so that goes on like that. Yeah. I'll quickly stick those on and show you what it looks like. I'm going to put the glue on very sparingly. You don't need a lot for this. And I'll probably just use a bit of wire to just put a line of glue and then put that on top of the glue and then wait for it to set. And that'll be done. So, right. We nearly got this finished. Good God, it's interesting. I might actually, next time I do this, if I do, is stick this on with the fabric glue. I don't know. Let me have a think. Yeah, it's like contact glue. So I might be able to even stick this onto here with the fabric glue and give it some contouring. So it stays on there, because I just need to be able to remove it from here to here to take this off. But that could stay on there. I could glue that on, couldn't I? Really, that bit. And then I've got to make the surround for the machine gun port there. But to be honest with you, I don't sound big-headed, but I think this looks better than the Tamiya rubber alternative. Yeah. Anyway, look, I'll be back in a tick. So I've just placed the first one on. And see how taut I've made the cover. All right, so now I'm going to put another one on either side, and they go they're about there, I think. I'm trying to get my hand in the way. So it's about there. Bring it and line it up with this one. It's a bit of eyeballing, but I think it's like that. Yeah. Then another one here, and then the ones in between, and that should be the 6. And let me just quickly show you how I put the glue on. So I've just got a little brass applicator. It's not, you can get a bit, and you don't have to just use a brass applicator. You can use anything. So there's the glue on there. I'll probably put some fresh stuff out, actually. This is getting a bit, I'll left this out well. And then you just put on like that, yeah? Might get a bit more glue, actually, because that's gone a bit old. So I've changed my applicator. And then just put it on. And if you get a bit around, it doesn't matter. All over the place, it doesn't matter. Sorry, my voice was going. It's not COVID, I don't know what the heck it is. So then, just put the glue on. Like I say, I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not measuring it too much. I've just made sure that the middle one is dead in the middle, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And then they fit around that. But you see how tight I've got the fabric, because you want these to go on straight. Yeah, it's about a couple of millimeters away from the seam, which is what the other ones are. And then pop it on. I'll probably stop filming in a sec, this, because I want to make sure I get these all lined up, or else I'll be annoyed if I stick them, they look funny. And it's a bit hard to do when there's a camera in the way. But you see, so it's just like that. Okay. That goes on there. And hopefully it lines up with the other one. It's kind of just at the edge where the gun mantlet goes under the cover. If you see some glue coming out the side, that's fine. It means you've got enough on it to really do the job. I just got to make sure it's straight. Okay. Let's pull this down a bit. So then we can use the... And I've still got double-sided tape underneath. So I'm going to start filming next. I need to fiddle. It's not like super glue. It gives you some time as well to work with it. Okay, so I'm going to start filming it, and I'll show you the whole thing when it's done. That's how you apply. Right, it's a bit hard to see because the black fabric is molded into the black fabric with the look of the glue. But that, I think that's a pretty good representation. And it still should be flexible. Obviously I need to chop off the longer strips, but I made the longer strips longer, so like I say, you can, come on focus, you can fiddle with them. And it tends to, like I say, the strips come up to the edge of the gun mantlet here, I think. So anyway, look, that's that. I'll see you tomorrow with putting the retaining strips on. And then I just need painting up. When it's painted in khaki drab kind of colour, it'll make all the difference. In black, it's quite hard to see what's going on, but as soon as I put it in, you know, canvas gun colour, with some highlights and stuff, it should look alright. Alright everybody, I might put a picture up, show you I am doing it, I promise.